Hey y'all, welcome to Camo and Plaid. I'm David and I thank you for joining us today. Today we'll be looking at the Holosun SCS MOS. Right there, that guy. All right, so the Holosun SCS MOS, this is their offering that is designed to be direct mounted to particular pistols. Again, this one is built for the MOS, so that's the Glock MOS system. The beautiful thing about that is we don't have to use any of our MOS plates. It is nice and close down to the gun, so you don't have to change your height of your head to be able to line up your sights. Instead, you can use your natural shooting grip and be lined up right there with the dot. So it makes it very, very fast. And I will tell you, compared to the Trijicon RMR, which is what I ran on this weapon in particular with the RMR plate, it was much faster to find. So that's the Holosun. It does come with what you'll see here is the 2 MOA dot. If you look at this right here, this little guy, this is your toggle switch. It'll switch between a 2 MOA dot, a 2 MOA with a 32 MOA circle around it, or just the 32 MOA option. So the nice thing is that you can switch between all three of those, and all you have to do is just press and hold. It'll switch between them. So that is your 32 MOA only. So you can kind of see, obviously you're looking through a screen, but how it's open there in the center. And so it was nice just to be able to put that on like an 8-inch gong, and the circle's right there. You just keep pulling the trigger. It's super quick, super fast. I think if you were going to run it as a gaming dot, it might be your option. I like the 2 MOA personally the best. And then you, of course, have the 2 MOA with the 32 MOA there. You can kind of see there's a circle and then there's a little dot there in the center. So that's nice too. If you prefer to have both options available, you can. I like it a little less cluttered, which is why I just go with a 32 MOA dot. And it's nice and bright. You can see there, it's very bright. It's got a nice big window. It claims to be parallax free. So far from what I see, that looks like it's probably pretty close to true. I don't know that you can actually get 100% parallax free, but especially with a curved piece of glass. But it looks like they're trying to come pretty close to that. In addition, it uses a titanium housing, so you have a nice strong housing, which is awesome. It's super lightweight. Again, nice and tight in. You can use standard sights on there, so your standard grip will bring you right up on target where it needs to be. You don't have to go searching for it because it will be right there with your iron sights. Now, the nice thing about the way this thing is powered is it is solar powered. This is not just the thing that powers the battery, which it does, but it's also your solar fail-safe. So if for some reason your battery died, as long as you have illumination, you should also have a dot, right? So that's a nice thing, especially for these. You will not need to switch out the battery on these. Obviously, there's a period of time where that will be true, but by the time this thing dies on you, you'll probably be replacing the sight anyways because it's just that old. That's a nice option to have for you. So battery backup. The runtime on the battery is long time, so even if you're going to be putting it away and storing it, it still has a lot of battery life. And then again, you just pull that thing out. It is IP67 waterproof. It's got auto bright adjusting. With that can be a bit of a concern for a lot of us. If you've ever shot from a dark room into a bright area, you can wash out your dot. So far, from what I've seen, that's not a concern with this particular dot. It seems to be a little bit brighter, and I think that's what assists with that concern. And so I've not had any issues looking out from like a dark room into full sun outside. So I was looking at that again just before shooting this, just so that I can, yeah, that's true. It's still that way. It was a concern of mine when I first saw that they came out, and it was an issue I've had on other red dots in the past that did not have a non-auto adjustment. So even though it has that, it does seem to work effectively. It does seem to adjust properly to an appropriate amount of ambient light. When you take it out to full sun, these dots are super, super crisp. That is obviously going to be the best. So if you're going to run this thing at night, I would definitely probably add your TLR 1000 so you have plenty of illumination, but it's still usable without that. Just what I would do. Again, it's going to adjust to the amount of light that's there, but I think that's how this thing runs the best. So that is just a quick video on the Holosun SCS. Of course, I compared it to the Trijicon RMR because that's what I ran. And I like this thing better. It is an open emitter sight, so you still run the issues of getting debris back inside there. That's not that big of a deal to me because, again, if your sight's occluded, as long as you have both eyes open, you will superimpose the sight upon the target. So that's not a real issue unless you become one-eyed in that moment, and that's probably going to be the least of your concerns. So thanks for joining me. Let me know what your favorite red dot is or green dot right now for your handguns. Again, mine right now would be the Holosun SCS for my particular purposes. I again compare it to the Trijicon RMR Type 2 3.25 MOA because that is what I ran for a couple years. It was a great sight, but you always had some issues with parallax, and kind of finding the dot was much more difficult with the difference in size between the sights themselves and the dot on the red dot. So I think you should take a look at it. It may be something that is good for you. It does come in other models. Like I said, this is for the MOS, but they do have them for the PDPs, the 320s. So, whatever is your favorite, you could probably find one that matches. All right. Thanks, guys.